if I remember correctly, I heard you say 5K is a good test for aerobic fitness. Yeah, I did. That's exactly what I said. What is a good 5K time for a rugby player? Well, so I don't like, and this is why you've seen one strength standards video from me before, and even then I was kind of giving those like numbers out sort of begrudgingly, because they're like, remember why you do these tests. Remember why these tests exist. These tests don't exist to say, oh, you've passed, you're now a good rugby player. The tests exist so that you, as the athlete, can see that you're improving. They exist in club environments so that they can see that you, the athlete, are working on your fitness, that you are fit enough that you potentially don't need to be doing fitness work in your training, or potentially fit enough that whatever fitness work you are doing in your training is working, or potentially not fit enough so that, hey, crap, we're not fit enough, our team's not fit enough, we're losing at the end of the games, let's do this test, crap, we're not improving, we're actually regressing, we need to get our fitness work back up. Or you could be the other way around. We could be losing in the last 10 minutes of a game. Let's do a fitness test to see if we're fit enough now. Oh, we're actually fitter than before. Maybe we're just playing better teams that are playing at a higher level, and we have to work harder and harder and harder than they do in order to beat them, or in order to compete with them, and that's why we're losing games in the last 10 minutes of a game. So all of that is to say is that's the reason that you test, is to see your own improvement. So like if you run your 20 minute, if you run a, damn it, I've given away how fast I think it should be. If you run a 5K in 25 minutes, week 1, and then you retest at week 6 and you run it in 24 minutes or 23 minutes, you're getting fitter. Whatever you're doing is working. Now, I would continue to work. I would say that if you can sub 25K, you are fit enough that you don't need to continually work at your aerobic fitness. You can just maintain, and that would be one session a week, and you should be able to maintain that fairly comfortably. If you get worse than 25 minutes, I'd say it's something or worse than 30 minutes, it should absolutely be I say worse. Slower than 30 minutes, it should probably be a focus as a rugby player. And then between 20 and 30 minutes is where most people are going to exist. You should probably continually be improving that. And once you get under 20, and again, this would depend on you and your position, and potentially your build, right? Because rugby is also not just about how fast you are over a long distance. It's about, sprint, slow down. So you're going to feel like, I'm not a big fan of testing anyway, right? So if you've heard me say that I think 5K is a good test for aerobic fitness, you've probably heard me say that you probably don't need to test, because you just need to continually improve. So you don't need to do a 5K test if you're doing your slow runs and you're doing, I don't know, week 1 you're doing 7K in just under an hour, and then you do, you redo it, a few weeks later, or you keep going, and you see week by week, you over the course of 4 or 5 weeks, you've had an extra kilometer or 2 kilometers even in that time, then you're getting better, and your heart rate's staying the same, then you're getting better. So it's more about seeing your own improvement so that you can continue to progress and you don't need to alter anything, or seeing where you might have some weak spots where you are regressing, than it is necessarily about reading too much into the data to say, oh, I'm good or I'm bad, because it would depend. There's going to be some professional rugby players that would get slower than 30 minutes. The vast majority of them will be under 20 minutes though.